Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is a friend, a sister. You won't believe when I say we haven't seen for close to 10 years. Today she's here looking so beautiful in all her glory. I serve you Enanga, Ndolo Supermodel Africa. Hello darling, how are you?
I'm great, and you?
I'm fine. You look amazing. Tell us, who is Enanga Ndolo?
Okay, so Enanga Ndolo is a young Bakweri girl who grew up in Kumba, because that's where I grew up. I was born in Boya. And then she decided to school in Seka Baptist College. And then from Seka Baptist College, I did my high school, my university, Catholic University of Boya. And then from Catholic University of Boya, I started, that's the first time I got into pageantry. When they announced Miss Catholic University, I was like, okay, let me try this. I was the only first year student that tried the Miss Catholic University. I had girls competing from the 3rd year, the 4th year. And to God be the glory, I won. Whoa. And from there, I was like, okay, why not look into this? Like, if I can win. And then I was trained by my mom. My mom has 0 ideas about pageantry. So she trained me how to speak the dialect just to introduce myself and everything. So after that, I started going in for competitions. I registered for Miss Eco Tourism. I won Miss Eco Tourism. I was like, wow, I'm a winner. I need to keep going. I registered for Miss Prestige. And I was first runner-up. Oh my gosh, I cried out my eyes. I was like, what happened? I was the first runner-up. And I was devastated, but I told myself, I'll go for another competition. So when I heard of Miss Tourism Southwest, I was even in the hospital with a cannula, and I was like, okay, I must register for this. I came all the way to the delegation in Boya. I registered, and I competed for Southwest, and I won. Everyone was like, oh, this girl is because she's Bakweri, she's a daughter of the soil. And we had to go for the finals in Yaoundé for Miss Tourism Cameroon. But for the Miss Tourism, they take just the 10 winners of the 10 region. They don't take the runner-ups. I didn't even know. All the contestants were already in Yaoundé. And my phone just rang, and they're like, Miss Southwest, where are you? Contestants have been here already. You're the only contestant that is not here.
Whoa, it's a surprise.
I was shocked, and I was shopping. I was trying to get some gowns with my mom. I was like, how do I get to Yaoundé today? Because girls had arrived, people already in their rooms with their roommates. I was like, I took Musango. At that time, we did not have Musango VIP, so I had a hard time on the road. I left Boya in the morning at about 9. I reached Yaoundé at 12 midnight.
What?
The bus broke down and broke down. If it's not the tire, the need water is overheating.
Village people.
Oh my God, they were all over me. When I got there, I was like, okay, I came alone. Everyone had like their delegates that went along with them, and we were supposed to come with your delegate. But my delegate sent a representative, I think her secretary, she could not make it with me. I was like, okay, everybody's delegate is here. They are greeting high personnel. So I'm just sitting like one orphan, like I know nobody. So when the competition began, they put me in the same room with Miss Douala, Miss Tourism Douala. And oh wow, she had everything going for her. Since we had 2 beds in one room, she had her manager, she had her hairstylist, she had her designer. You can imagine that in 2016 when I did not even know who was the manager. I was like, each time I sit on my bed and I look at her, I'm like, oh wow. And then they'll go to the balcony, they'll talk, they'll come and try her gowns. I'm like, oh my God, this is my gown that I got for 15,000. People are wearing gowns for hundreds of thousands. And I was like, let God just take control. Then there was this friend of mine, Boris. He came along with me. That was another person that came along with me. He came after. And when the finals reached, I was like, practically I was crying backstage because I had no support backstage. And they did not allow any fan club in Hilton. Just important personnel. It was strictly on invitation. When I got on stage, I was even dancing on stage and crying. Everybody backstage knew like, this is Miss Cry Southwest. She's just crying. The stress was too much. I was dressing myself, everything. And they started calling from the 10th. Like the 10th is this, the 9th is this. You know, like it's like report card when you're calling the last in class. And when you reach the top 2, it was me and my roommate Littoral.
Whoa.
And when they called me as the Miss, the hall went ablaze. Like everyone was happy. People were clapping, people that I don't even know. I was so happy. And after that, I told myself, okay, if I can do this, I can try to look into the international. So then I started looking into Miss Tourism International. and I went for Miss Tourism International. That was in 2016. I was even late to represent Cameroon. It was a competition in Malaysia that took 1 month, but I was 2.5 weeks late because I had to go to Nigeria by road to get my visa. And when I came back before, I had to fly to Malaysia. So coming 2 weeks late, you have already missed a lot of things. Photo shoot, missing sponsors, some grading. And I sat in the corridor. I was like, girls came with everybody. As usual. 10 luggages. You see things that you've never seen, knowing that you're coming from an African community. Like, they had everything going on for them. I sat in the corridor and I was always crossed, like, oh God, I just need something for this. But then I made it to top 10 best talents to present on the world final. And that was like the highest ranking I got for that. After that, I told myself, when I came back, I was really bankrupt because then I paid the franchise fee of 1 million francs from my family. Then the flight, going to Nigeria, so it was a whole lot of things. When I came back, I told myself I was going to work. Like this statement, I'm not a stick, I need to move. That's when it rang in my head. I started struggling. I worked as a hostess in La Falaise, in, not La Falaise, there is this hotel, Hotel Franco. I worked as a hostess, I think for 4 months, and then I quit because I was just tired. And then I quit, and then after that, that's when I told my mom, I'm like, I want to travel. Now, I was traveling to a country where I knew no one, and I had no idea. I thought of Thailand. But to go to Thailand, you need to fly to Nigeria to get the visa before you go again. And this time around, my experience was so bad. I was in Nigeria. I didn't have an interview. I met the Cameroonian ambassador of Nigeria. So he just took me directly to the embassy, and they facilitated everything for me. But on coming back to Cameroon, I was in the Murtala Mohammed airport, I think at 7 a.m. My flight was at 4, but I missed my flight. I had to sleep in the airport. Unbelievable. And I had to start thinking, like, how do I pay for a whole flight again? Because they told me either I get a new flight, and 3 days, they said there was not going to be, Askai was not flying to Cameroon, so I had to wait. I slept in the airport for 2 days.
How did you shower, girl?
Well, everything is there. Like Nigerian, they have like soft couches. They also have like, there's some little beds they give for you to throw on the floor. So I was like on the couch all the time, just chilling, using the free Wi-Fi. It was mood. So when I came back, I was like, okay, this has to stop. And when I traveled, I decided to put a lot of passion into this. I started registering for competitions, started preparing myself, trained myself on my catwalk and everything, and this is me today.
Whoa, so presently, what are you presenting?
Well, when I go to represent on the international, we have different competitions, and competitions are at different levels. We have the top 5 pageants. That could be like Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss International, Miss Supranational, Miss Earth. And there are other minor pageants, like I represented Cameroon for Queen of Tourism International in the Philippines. Also, we had Supermodel, which was in Thailand, and then Miss Glam World was one of my favorite pageants. It was in India, where I won Miss Perfect 10. That award is given to like the girl that is perfect all around the competition. You're on time, makeup on point, your dressing and everything is fine. And then I was a 3rd runner-up for that competition.
Miss Lumiere, what is it all about?
Okay, Miss Lumiere is a beauty pageant that empowers women. Like, they don't look at your size, they don't look at your height, they mostly focus on age group. Most competitions look at your size and height. But Miss Lumiere focus on accepting everyone, like acceptability. They take everyone so that you can portray beauty being unique in your own way. And the competition, normally it takes place in Singapore, but due to the pandemic, we had to hold it virtual because with the pandemic, there are a lot of restrictions to get into countries and quarantine and things like that. So we held it virtually. And for Miss Lumiere, the only title I could get was Best National Costume. Best National Costume, that was
right. Did you cry?
No.
You did
not. No, not in. I've grown since 2019. I never cried for any pageant again.
Okay. Tell us 5 things about you that people do not really know.
Okay, one thing, let me say, the first thing about me that people don't really know is I'm not that stern like the way they see me on social media. I'm a very fun and easygoing kind of person. The second thing is the fact that people don't know that I've been a teacher. Like, I've taught kids with special needs. I've taught kindergarten. I've taught kids in like from 5 and lower seed. Yeah, I've done teaching part-time. Another thing people don't know about me is the fact that people don't know that I actually sponsor and cover all my pageants by myself. They feel everything. From the dressing to the flight to the visa to everything. That's one thing they don't know. They feel that there is one non-governmental organization or maybe one papa somewhere covering it for me. Yes, one zazi somewhere. So, and another thing people don't know about me is there is this thing, I don't know, but people do have their role model, but my role model is me. Yeah. People look at other figures like, I want to be like this person, but I feel I just want to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful, eh? Okay, Miss, tell us some of your challenges.
Okay, like I always say, the first challenge is the fact that we don't have support as pageant queens when we go to represent the country. Because being out there, we are not representing ourselves. If I'm standing in the midst of 90 countries and they call Cameroon, you're carrying your entire country. They are seeing Cameroon in you and they are not seeing Enanga. So when we go out there to promote our country, we don't have that support we need. We don't have those sponsors we need to facilitate everything for us. Either we are stressed, we are running at the nick of time to get visa, they are rejecting some candidates and then you have to go again. So it's a whole stressful process. But for me, I never had that difficulty because going to the embassy, when I just go as a queen, they just, okay, documentation, this and that, and I just get the visa. So I won't really say that was something very hard. Another challenge I face is the fact that our country does not promote us enough. While I was in Thailand, I got the support from Thai people more than I've gotten support from Cameroon my entire life. They promoted me. There were designers that were working with me. I had my constant hairstylist, makeup artist. Like I was covered for every event I had to go. They were always promoting, either they are sharing on them, because social media out there is way more trendy than social media here in Cameroon. They were always sharing, always supporting me. If I had to have likes for votes, I'll always have like the highest. Yes, but I came from a small country. They had a representative, but because I know them personally, so they try to uplift me in their own way. So that's why I always say Thailand is my second home.
So tell us about your projects.
Okay, so presently the first project I was working on was the Cameroon Pageant Academy, which was aimed at training young girls on their catwalk skills, because I noticed here in Cameroon, most of the people that train young girls, they are like male professionals. And those male professionals, you've never seen them on stage, or either they have done just a runway and you've never seen them compete for a competition or on the international stage. But they train girls who have to go on the international stage. So when I looked at this, I was like, okay, what they are teaching you is just what they watched from YouTube. It's not actual experience they have gotten. So the Cameroon Pageant Academy was created to be able to train these girls based on international standards, from how they pose to how they answer their questions to their social media profiles looking stunning, because before you go for a competition, your social media speaks a lot about you. They do what is called hot pick. Like they pick some contestants from countries and they classify you people, like this person will be the 10th, this will be the 9th, and then they put the first. So when they rank you, it's easy for you to place on the international. When you come as a delegate, you just have to present yourself as a full package. You nail your question and answer, because they also have one-on-one judging, like they sit in the room, the judges sit, and delegates come in one by one. They get to know more about you. If you nail that, that is like 50% of the competition. You're good to go. So when I saw all of this, and I just see girls registering for competition 1 week to time. 1 week does not give you enough time. If I want to prepare for a competition, I start preparing 3 months, 6 months before the competition, so that I have a good ranking and all my profile and everything is fine. So that is what we do mainly at the academy. And the other project I'm working on is organizing Miss Face of Cameroon. Now, Miss Face of Cameroon is not all about having a beautiful face to represent Cameroon. It's a whole package. And it's meant to empower and sensitize girls from all the 10 regions of Cameroon to bring together diversity, friendship, their talents and skills, so that we can get a queen that is a whole package. So that is what I'm currently working on now.
Now, still talking about modeling, we never find chubby women like me. Why?
There are.
Oh.
There are different types.
Different pageant for that.
Yes, there's a different pageant for that. There are different types of modeling. Anyone who is chubby, you can be a commercial model. You can either be, there are competitions that take only girls that are chubby. They don't take girls that are slim.
Okay. So as Miss Tourism, when you were Miss Tourism, right, what did you get from the government?
Well, I got cash prize. The same night I won, they gave me all my cash prize. I had like, but then the minister was not in the country, so the Secretary General was the one who took care of everything. I got like all the prizes I needed. I slept in Hilton that night. The next morning I had a good breakfast. And I was so itchy to go back to my family so that they can celebrate the good news, because there had never been a winner for Miss Tourism from the Southwest. So I brought a lot of honor to the Southwest and they were very happy.
Anything you want to tell the public?
Well, what I want to tell the public is, those of you out there that feels that life is overwhelming, you need to know that it is one step at a time. You can never be at the top and you can never be at the bottom. There are always going to be people that are going to be before you and after you, so you can never be the last. So keep working and appreciate your little efforts you make, because one day you're going to stand as a giant.